Hi, and welcome to Nourishing the Community podcast. I'm Norman Hanks, your host this afternoon. And with us in the hot seat today, we have Sarah Callendar with Main Street Murfreesboro. And for a lot of our listeners, maybe they didn't realize that Main Street Murfreesboro is a nonprofit organization.
Yes.
And I'm going to ask you to give us a little history. Tell us about Main Street Murfreesboro, how it started,
Okay.
why it started,
Yeah.
maybe when it started.
That's a good question because a lot of people think that we're part of the government,
Mm-hmm.
and we're not. We are a 501c3. So Main Street was chartered 37, might be 38 years ago. It was in 1998. Do the math real quick. I keep
I
saying
can't do the math
37.
now.
I think now it might be 38. But it was back in the late 90s. And
So you said 30, and I was thinking like 1972,
oh, wait.
73,
Wait, I
like
said it was 85.
1990.
It was 85. That's when it was started.
Okay.
I just said
No, I like
90s.
that.
That's
No,
like
30,
when I
80s.
graduated.
Okay.
Okay. It was
Feel
back
that,
in
Sarah.
85. Sorry. Okay, you know how old I am. What was I saying? And it was chartered through the city and some volunteers.
Okay.
Community leaders said we needed to have a Main Street program, and it was part of the National Historic Trust, if you know what that means.
I don't.
I don't either, but
Okay.
it's part of the no, I do. It's part of the National Historic Trust out of Washington, D.C., and they created the Main Street program. So cities all over the country have these, and it is for revitalizing the historic downtown, for preserving those buildings and those historical markers and creating a place, a sense of community. So that's why it was started. And they have had an executive director, and like there's one other person, and it's
Mhm.
very small, but I forgot what else you asked me about, but that's how it was
I think
started.
that's
Yeah.
how it was started,
Mhm.
how it came to be.
Mhm.
And you said 30 some odd years ago. We're just
Mhm.
going to go with that
Yeah.
because I can't.
It's not 40 because I
It's
haven't
not
had to
40
do an
yet.
anniversary party yet.
That's coming.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
those are fun. We at Nourish just did our 40th last year. I think it was
Oh,
last
I'll
year.
have to ask you what you did.
Yeah, you should do that.
Maybe I won't.
No, it was a great time. We had a great event.
Mhm.
So Main Street Murfreesboro currently does a lot of events on the square,
Mhm.
right? That's the question I need to ask. Are you
Yeah.
focused strictly on the square, or are there other businesses involved?
That's a great
How big
question.
is the downtown considered?
Yeah. So the downtown is the business district.
Okay.
It's part of what the city also sees as the business district. It's around a 30-block radius. So if you think of Broad Street, where you enter into this
Mhm.
downtown, all the way to Memorial, like F&M Bank is on the corner, and
Mhm.
Murfreesboro Nissan is right there. Um, and then we do encompass Oakland's Mansion and like Bradley Academy, and we kind of enveloped the Discovery Center because we consider it a downtown attraction, but it cuts out all the historic houses and everything. It's just a business district.
Okay.
So, and there's like 500 businesses in that vicinity. So it's
500 businesses.
crazy.
That's insane.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I see the ones on the square, and I'm like, oh,
Mhm.
downtown.
Right.
Yeah,
Which
I
is
would
what
not
people
think
think.
that
I
it
have to
goes
be
that far
careful.
out.
I can't ever say like we just focus on the square.
Right.
Because it can definitely offend people who are downtown but are not on the
On
square.
the square. Because there are others off the square, right? There's
Yes.
Quinn's Mercantile, Tasty Table,
Mhm.
Center for the Arts. Those are not directly
right.
on the square. They're slightly off.
Mhm. And did you know that that seems like a very southern thing? Well, actually, on the square is really just something you know if you have a courthouse.
Right. If you have a square.
If you have a square, right.
Right.
I've always I didn't grow up having a square.
No?
No, we didn't have a courthouse.
Well, Smyrna doesn't have a square. It has the Depot District,
That's
which
true.
is by the train station.
It's a street.
Because they've never had a square.
Mm.
Right.
So a lot of times when people move here, you're like, "Oh, just come to the square," and they're like,
They're like, I don't know what that
"What's
means.
that mean?"
Right. We actually have a square in the
We
center of
do.
Murfreesboro.
Yes.
Yeah. So businesses.
Mhm.
It's all business focused. What do you all do for the businesses? What is the support that you offer to businesses?
So part of the Main Street program is threefold. It's focused on designs, like the element of the historic buildings and preservation. So for part of that, we offer a grant for businesses if
Mhm.
they're going to do a facade some improvement on the outside of their building. We started that 2 years ago, and so we gave like $13,000 this past year to 3 different businesses who were doing improvements.
Okay.
And then economic vitality, we help focus on businesses that want to get started, businesses that need some training. So we try to offer a couple of classes during the year, like marketing, and we've got one coming up in October that actually any small business, if they're interested in doing this, can take it for free. It's a 2-hour workshop on all things marketing from a company called Locable. It's who we do our website with. And they're very focused on small businesses and, just knowing that's usually a 1 or 2 man show, and trying to do it all. But we're doing that in October. And we partner with the Small Business Development Center and like the chamber and the city to try to connect the small business owner with resources that they might not know about. So sometimes we'll get a phone call from somebody and they want to start a business. They have a dream and they're like, hey, how do I get downtown? And so I'm like, we actually have some marketing piece that the board created, and it connects like this is who you would call in codes and planning and to get your permits. And these are the people at the Small Business Development Center and classes that you can take for free. And hey, here's the chamber and this is what they do. So a lot of times business owners they have a dream and they don't know about all the business side of stuff. So we try
Right.
to help them in that way.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
So Main Street Murfreesboro,
Mhm.
being a nonprofit, has to come up with funding somewhere.
Mhm.
Where do you get your funding?
The majority of it comes from sponsorships. Because of the events that we do, that allows businesses that want to get out in front of the community an opportunity to market themselves. And so we've figured out how to do that. And so we've created sponsorships with our events that allow a business to come and be in front of those people. And then we are able to provide free events and help our organization, with our bottom line. We get grants like from the Tennessee Arts Commission and, you're a nonprofit too, like all the different grants that we could possibly apply for. We do get some city funding and some county funding, like most established nonprofits in town.
Well, that's
So,
good.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad that they support y'all.
Oh,
That's
is that a
awesome.
sore subject?
No, not at
Oh,
all.
okay.
I'm genuinely
You're
glad they
genuinely
support you.
glad. Yes, me
Yeah.
too.
So events, you have a lot of events going on. You have
Mhm.
Main Street Music Live every Friday night
Mhm.
during the season, right? It lasts about 3 months. Is that right?
So, yeah, Friday Night Live, a lot of people call it Friday Night Lights, and
Yeah.
it's Friday Night Live. So it's June, July, August, and September. We just finished our last one. And it's a 3-hour concert. We shut the square down at night
Mhm.
and have a couple thousand people come out and watch a band perform. So, yeah, we
Okay.
just finished that.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
You also do the Saturday
Mhm.
market on the square.
That's right.
Tell us about that.
So that starts in May. We started it earlier. 2 years ago, we started it a little bit earlier, and we've extended it through October. And again, like with the whole trying to bring together events and see how they would benefit the small businesses downtown. I
Mhm.
hate shutting the square down. And so, like the Friday Night Live concerts, we do that after hours. We wait till the businesses close, and then it does help the restaurants that are open. But the Saturday market is just around the courthouse. And we have like 77 vendors that fill all the spots around it. And we have a market manager who oversees it. And it's 8 to 12 every Saturday through the month of October. And you do have to produce or make or grow your own products. There's like a percentage, like 20 or 15% that you can buy from, like, you could buy produce that you're not growing at that time or something to supplement what you have. Um, but they're all locally grown farmers, or they're artists,
Okay.
or bakery, people who bake their own goods.
Yes, I enjoy the Saturday market when I make
Oh,
it down
good.
there. Dogs. Are dogs allowed at the square on
They
Saturday market?
are. The
Because a lot of people love their
They
dogs.
do. It's like a dog show. You could just come and sit. It kind of freaks me out because they're giant dogs and then dogs in strollers and
Uh-huh.
dressed up dogs,
Uh,
and We've not had any catastrophe with dog fights, but
That's
it
good.
does make me nervous.
Yeah, I get that. I
But
do get that.
lots of dogs.
Seeing a
Mhm.
lot of dogs in one place makes me nervous as well.
Yes.
Yes. Um, so for people who want to be vendors at the Saturday market, how do they go
Mm.
about doing that?
So well, right now we're full. We're closing out the season in October, but be paying attention to our website. You can go to the Saturday Market page, and probably in like February, they'll have the application that will open up. And we do allow the vendors who've been there to come back the next year. So, I mean, it's easy to get in as a part time vendor more than a full time vendor, but sometimes spots will stay open. I mean, they will come open. Um, the market manager's done a great job of trying to always allow enough spots that aren't full time so that people can try it. We've got a lot of people who will just like, oh, I just started making this and I want to come to the market. And so well, why don't you come twice and just see how it is? Because it's a different ballgame, when you
Mhm.
actually have to set up and sell your product for
Right.
4 hours. Um, and it's neat because from the market, we've had a couple of vendors who have moved into brick and mortar. I've got some really cool stories like Doey's Bagels. Um, these are 2 guys that work full-time jobs, and they make New York style bagels, and they just came to the market to try it, and they were so popular that they were, like, making these bagels out of their kitchen, and then when Empanada Sonata closed above Murfreesboro Axe,
Mhm.
Main Street was able to connect them with that building, and they use the kitchen with the alley. They rent the kitchen and share the space, so they make their bagels, and they've grown so much that now they make bagels for other businesses downtown that sell them, for
That's
breakfast.
awesome.
Yeah, so they're not at the point yet where they can quit their jobs and have it full time, but they're able to do this and grow it, and, the Blue Porch, she moved out, she was a vendor for a while, and then she had a business across from the judicial building. It lasted, like, 2 years, and she ended up closing that, but she's still at the market. But things like that where people will grow their business to the point where they can have brick and mortar. And that's cool. It's kind of like a incubator space,
That's awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's really good that businesses can grow from there. Excuse me. Excuse me. Goodness, I don't know where that came from. Um, so you have again a lot of events going on, and I love knowing about what's going on downtown. I try to make it to some of it. I really do.
That's good.
Um, you have so the Saturday market will be closing up in October,
Mhm.
but you also have scarecrows coming up, right?
Yes.
It's one of the neat little fun things that Main Street does for the businesses downtown to
Mhm.
help draw people down, right?
Right.
Tell us about that.
So the scarecrow idea came up. I started that 2 years ago,
Mhm.
and, I heard about other Main Street programs doing it in some smaller towns, and so I just was like, "How did you do it?" And it has grown. We have 28 scarecrow 27, 28 scarecrows right now, and anybody can have one. So we've got, like, schools, like a football team or a bank or, a church or even a preschool, like, all kinds of different people are making scarecrows. The library's making one. The best one is the city street department.
Mm.
I sent them an idea of where all these, anyway, they're, like, cleaning up the street. They're what were those yellow creatures that look like marshmallows?
Minions?
Yes, they're
Okay.
minions, and they're all, like, sweeping the street. So they're making scarecrows, and we put them all around the square outside of businesses, and the purpose is just to make people want to come downtown and walk around and see the scarecrows. They can vote on their favorite one, and we have a judge. And um, again, the idea though is that you're walking around downtown and then you're exposed to new businesses that are opening up or ones that you've just never paid attention to. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Um, yes, that's awesome. So you had said earlier you try to plan events when the businesses are closed to keep from hurting the businesses. But the whole point is to bring people downtown, to get them involved in the
Into the
downtown
yeah.
area and do shopping and eating and
Mhm.
playtime, whatever they're
Mhm.
doing down there, right? How does it interfere with their businesses?
Well, okay,
I'm
I'll
just
just talk
asking
about the well, we
questions.
used to do Jazz Fest.
Uh-huh.
We did it for years, and it's a great event.
Great event.
Um, the problem was that it's a 2-day event,
Mhm.
and you have to shut the whole square down for the whole day. 1, just to get the cars out, so that you don't have the traffic, and we didn't have people that were going to Jazz Fest coming into the stores. And there was the other businesses that are open, like the barbershops and things like that, and the restaurants, they don't have people a lot of times that were coming in, or it stopped their traffic, from going. So there was just some conflict of interest with
Okay.
that. It's great at night. Most of the people do come in the later afternoon and the evening, but also with that event, the students, which is a great thing. The whole reason Jazz Fest started was to promote jazz music in the schools, and that's what happened. Like they grew from not having any school programs with jazz when they first started, and now every school, middle and high school that I know of, has a jazz band, which is it served its purpose. It's great. We didn't have enough time during the day to have all those bands on stage. So they needed to have another venue that was larger that would allow them, more time to have all
Right.
those student bands perform, because they were performing for like 15 minutes each just to get all the schools in.
Wow. Yeah, that sounds like a busy day for those poor children.
Yes, and for me too, because that's a huge event as it grew bigger and
Right.
bigger. And again, it's volunteers and but I'm proud. That's a really neat thing. Whereas, one door closed, and then the school teachers and other community leaders who love that program picked it up and have grown it, and very proud of them. They did a
That's
great job.
awesome. Yeah. Um, so thanks for answering that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what's coming up for Main Street Murfreesboro right now. What events are coming up in the next couple of months?
Well, let's see. On October 31st, they always do trick or treat around the square, and that's kind of just an organic thing that started with the businesses. So
Okay.
we promote it, but the city police will shut the square down, and we have a couple thousand families that come, and they literally just walk around the square, and all the business owners dress up and they sit outside, and if they choose to, they close their business and they give out candy, which is just a really neat thing that they can give back to the community. So we'll do that on Halloween from 3 to 5. And then
3 to 5
3 to 5
on
in the
Halloween.
afternoon. So as soon as
Okay.
school's out, it's over at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
Go do your trick-or-treating in your neighborhood.
Mhm.
And then November the 1st, I believe it's that first Friday in November.
Okay.
Is that what that says? November? Nope, it's November the
6th.
3rd.
Wait,
Is
I
that a
don't know where you are.
3?
Yeah, that's a 3. You're
November
good.
the 3rd. That is the kickoff to the holidays. So the
Okay.
holiday market is what we call it. And all the shops stay open that Friday night from 5 to 8 p.m. And we have some music, just like acoustic music around the square. We have carriage rides for people to take. And the shops have all their Christmas stuff out. And so it's just a way to promote shop small, shop local. That Friday kind of kicks off the season for your Christmas shopping.
Okay.
Um,
And does that venture out off of just the square itself?
yes, again,
Since it is
that's like
part of I'm gonna turn
downtown.
your calendar back
Oh, there
around
you
again
go.
because I can't read it
Yeah.
anyway.
I know I need my glasses. But yes, it's not just the stores on the square. There's lots of even if you want to know more about like any of these events and what stores are participating, if you go to our website, we'll have the event listed, and we'll have like a QR code and all the list of businesses that are open that
Open that
night.
night.
So
And what is your website?
mainstreetmurfreesboro.org.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Are you on the Facebooks, the Twitters, or any of the
We're
socials?
on all of it but Twitter.
Okay.
I don't know that we tweet or X.
Whatever it is.
Yeah,
I
we
don't
don't
use it.
X.
I don't know.
We are on what's the business one? The professional LinkedIn.
That,
Yeah, for
yes.
all the business people out there, we do post things on LinkedIn.
Okay.
But yeah, we have a very active social media, and that's part of how we promote the businesses. So some of our posts throughout the week will be highlighting different businesses. And we have a blog on our website that tells stories and videos. I guess you call that vlogs. I don't know. As my teenager would say. They kind of go inside the business and let the business owner tell their story. So those are all archived on our website.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us some new businesses coming into town.
Yeah, it's
that we may not know about. A lot of
restaurants.
restaurants.
So Fire is a
Okay.
Korean barbecue
The
restaurant.
one that's dealing with
dealing with some codes issues.
yes.
They've been trying to open since last like November, but they are on Maple Street. They're going to open up. That'll be a really nice fine dining restaurant where they
So
cook
tell me
the
about the
food.
dumpster.
The
Why is the
dumpster.
dumpster there, Sarah? It's never going away.
I guess it'll go when they
When they
open.
open.
But
Okay.
they must
Okay.
have a lot of stuff in that building
They
to get rid
must.
of. That's a 2-story building, though. I mean, it's huge.
And it's been around for a long time.
What
Yeah.
they had, Maple Street. I almost said medical clinic. What was the restaurant?
Oh, I don't remember.
There was a restaurant before. There's been a couple of things in that building, but it was a restaurant. It was a really nice restaurant. There's another one that just opened, and it's behind Whiskey Dick's,
In the old courthouse
the
building.
old courthouse.
Which is a gorgeous building.
Yes, and so they completely renovated this, and it's called Burrow Bourbon and Brews. And you'll see like the windows that open up, and they have steaks and ribeyes. They're going to be like a fine meat.
Okay.
Carnivores go there, I
I
guess.
mean,
I don't know.
there's
And
a lot
whiskey
of carnivores in this
drinkers.
town.
Carnivores and whiskey drinkers. And they have a stage. They have live music every night. They're open on Sundays too. They have
Wow.
brunch.
Because
So
not a lot of things on the square are open
no,
on
they're
Sundays.
not. But a lot of restaurants like Puckett's is open on Sundays, and this one is going to be, or it is. And then there's Jack Brown's is open on Sunday.
Sundays.
So we're really going to be now, like if you think about what a downtown is known for, we're becoming known for restaurants.
Well, we used to be known for lawyers, so that's a good change.
It is a good change.
Yeah.
And there's a wine restaurant that's opening up, a wine tasting. So you can go in and get a glass of wine, some little charcuterie treats, but you can join it. There's going to be membership, but it's also open to the public. And it's going to be across from Murfreesboro Axe on Main Street.
Where the old tea shop was.
Where the old Vibe shop was.
Okay.
Over, down from the alley, but across the street. So it'll be, that'll be opening up in October, and it'll be 2 stories. And then, like Happy Sports Lounge opened up this past year.
That's right.
And so we got a lot of entertainment stuff, music, entertainment with the Walnut House and Gallagher Guitar. So
Gallagher Guitar do they still do live shows there?
They don't.
Weren't they trying to?
They tried that, and COVID really kind of hurt them. So they do special stuff, but they aren't doing like regular weekly live shows.
Okay.
But you can do tours. Have you ever done a tour of Gallagher Guitar?
Yes, I've been there.
It's amazing.
It is.
Like,
it's
that's
really awesome.
cool. Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that they were there, and I interviewed with them at one point. And I saw it, and I was like, oh, my God, this is so cool.
Yeah.
There's guitars everywhere, and they're being made right here in Murfreesboro.
Do you play guitar?
No. No. I'm not a musician.
Okay. Me neither.
No, I didn't pick up that skill, unfortunately.
I did play the flute.
Yeah?
I don't remember how, though.
I never tried. That was not one of those things I was into. What else do we need to know about Main Street Murfreesboro?
Oh, you know what? We have something really cool coming. It is live. They look like people. They're, what do you call that when they're the size of a person?
Life size?
Life size. There you go.
I like it.
They are sculptures, and we have temporary sculptures. We got a grant from the Tennessee Arts Commission, and Redstone matched it. And so we are bringing 5 sculptures downtown. One's going to be the Discovery Center, the Civic Plaza, over down where City Hall is. One is going to be on the public square on that grass lot, right across from the courthouse, the Center for the Arts, and Oakland's Mansion. And they look like they're people, and they are all doing different things. Like one's children playing, and one is a man playing a violin. And then there's 2 people painting, like the courthouse and Oakland's Mansion. One guy's painting. He looks like he's just a construction worker. And it's part of the Seward Johnson Foundation. So they loan these out for free. We're paying for the transportation of them. They're coming across the country. So they're being delivered October the 3rd. And they're going to be here for 3 months.
Oh, very cool.
You can drive around and look at them. And there's little signs that will ask you questions like, what do you think? Just it spurs on conversation, and we're trying to bring the arts to downtown and to expose our community to
more
something.
art. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I know that we used to have an art crawl downtown.
We still do. We had one on Friday.
Yeah?
Yes.
And how often do those happen?
They were doing them quarterly. So we had one earlier downtown this year, and then we did it in correlation with the Friday Night Live concert, and we had the sidewalk chalk contest. We've had 2 of those this year, and they're gonna do the art crawl again, in November with that November the 3rd, the holiday market.
Okay.
They're gonna have the art crawl at the same time because it works well when the businesses are open and that people just are walking around shopping. I think that's a better partnership than, like, during the concerts, where people kinda tend to just come and sit and listen.
And listen,
Yeah.
our producer has 9 to 5 playing,
Are you
and
ready for
that's
us to
pulling out
go?
my
What
inner
is
Dolly
it 5?
Parton. The world, Trent.
Mhm. So
No,
rude.
it's great, Trent. I love Dolly. I'm sorry, I get distracted easily, Sarah, and
Okay.
then I lose train of thought.
Let's talk about Christmas.
Let's talk about Christmas. What
Okay.
goes on downtown for Christmas? I love that she wants to talk about Christmas.
The Christmas tree lighting.
Okay. Talk about it.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
Well, have you ever been?
No, I've never been to the Christmas
Okay,
tree
so
lighting
yeah,
in
I'm
Murfreesboro.
embarrassed and ashamed for
I
you.
have been to the one in Smyrna.
Oh.
Yeah. I think it's important to incorporate all of Rutherford County in my life, not
Okay.
just Murfreesboro.
Okay.
No, actually, when my kids were growing up, I worked for the city of Smyrna for a short time,
Oh.
and it was during Christmas season
Uh-huh.
ish, and so they always do their lighting over at the town center.
Mhm.
So we went over there and did that after watching the parade, and
Yeah,
had hot
that's
cocoa
cool.
and all the fun stuff.
Well,
That was many a year ago.
you
Sarah.
were invited along with all of Rutherford County
Yes.
to the official Rutherford County tree lighting.
Okay.
Oh,
Is it the
okay.
Rutherford County tree lighting or the Murfreesboro tree lighting?
It is called the Rutherford County tree lighting because it's
Okay.
the Rutherford County Historic Courthouse.
Okay.
And it is very much their Christmas tree. They water it and everything.
Awesome.
They try to keep it alive. They used to bring in a tree every year.
Mm-hmm.
That was before my time, thank God. Don't have to cut down a tree and
Thank
bring
goodness.
it in. But we do a tree lighting that first Friday in December. So it's December 1st. And it's just all the small town stuff. We have a school community choir where 2 schools come together and they get to pick their choir and they practice and they perform. And we have dancers and the Center for the Arts performs. Santa comes in on a fire truck. The Boys and Girls Club are a part of it. We've got some special performers coming. It's just fun. And then we have free activities all around the courthouse. So games for kids to play and free hot chocolate. And the stores are open. And so it's like a full night of festivities. Free pictures with Santa in the courthouse. So
it sounds like a very family-focused event.
it is a very family-focused. Everything is friendly and free, which is an important thing. Lots of free cocoa and free popcorn and free games, things like that. So we've had live reindeer.
Live reindeer.
Actually, I'm glad I said that out loud. I
Okay.
need to book those reindeer. I forgot about that.
So there will be reindeer there.
If I can get them, if it's not too late.
Are they able to be petted or are they just there to look at?
They were the year before. We didn't get them last year. Okay. Because I didn't get them in time.
Well, I'm glad we're having this conversation.
I am too. Thank you. This is meant to be.
Reach out to the reindeer man.
That's right.
Get them booked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're doing a new thing too. We're doing a festival of wreaths. So it came from California. Okay. Somebody brought this idea. It was the Festival of Trees, but we're changing it to wreaths because it's Southern. Wreaths.
Okay, like the door hanging
like you hang
things.
On your wreath in your door. Yes, I'm sorry, I wasn't saying that clearly.
No, I was hearing reek, and I was like, I don't understand what
wreaths.
Sorry, this is who I am as a person.
So, like, if Nourish Food Bank wanted to make a wreath and decorate it with food and make it like a food theme, you could donate this wreath, and we're going to hang it up downtown, and they will be auctioned off, and all the money will go to nonprofits that were nominated by the people who made the wreaths. So
very
it's
cool.
going to be a new festive thing.
And where would people find out about that information?
On our website.
Okay.
Yeah.
mainstreetmurfreesboro.org.
That's right.
Oh my God, look, I remember it.
Look, you're so good.
I'm not. You have another event, and I know you weren't going to talk about it because it's going to happen before this episode airs. However, it happens every year, right?
Mhm.
Sip, Shop, and Stroll.
We do that quarterly.
Quarterly.
So,
So talk
yes.
about it. Tell us about
Yes.
Sip, Shop, and Stroll.
That is another one of those organic things where the businesses used to just say, "Hey, let's all stay open," because they shut down a little bit early during the year, but during Christmas they stay open a little bit later. And so we're doing one September 21st, and that's the fall one, and it's 4 to 8, and they have a little bit of drinks and food, and they do some special discounts, and so it's just to bring people downtown to shop and eat. So they usually do it on
Who does
Thursday.
discounts? Because I've never hit any of the discount stores.
I know, I shouldn't have said discount.
Should never say discounts.
That 20% off discount.
There is a 20%
Oh, yeah,
off?
they a lot of them do that.
Trent, I think they've been screwing with me for years.
You've
No,
gone
that
to the
is an
wrong
event I
stores.
hit regularly.
Do you really?
Yeah, I love the Sip, Shop, and Stroll.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
It's
because
a
it's
fun one.
drinking. Who doesn't enjoy drinking on the square? No, I'm kidding.
It's true.
I buy things every year, and I'm like, well, I shouldn't have bought that. I have sunglasses that I bought 2 years ago.
Oh, wow.
It was a great night, and after a few sips of wine,
You were like,
you're like, I
"What
can
should
buy
I
anything
buy
I
in here?"
want. Right. Doesn't matter that they were $30. Yeah, and they sit in a bowl in my house.
I bet they're great quality.
They
though.
are. They're gorgeous.
Yeah.
I
You
don't
should put
wear
them in your
them.
car and
I
wear 'em.
can't.
Oh.
They're the size of a saucer. So, like, they're huge.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
No, it was a great experience.
Talking about drinking
Yeah,
and walking around the square.
we love that.
The wine around the square, sometimes people think that we put that event on, but that's by St. Thomas Hospital, and
Right,
that's
because
their
it's for breast
fundraiser.
cancer awareness.
Yes, and so they do that in October. It's actually October 21st,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just going to throw a promotion out for them because it's a great cause.
It is.
But you can buy tickets, and they do shut the square down for that on a Saturday evening.
Yes.
And people walk around
and then the different businesses
they
downtown
stay
on the
open.
square stay open and serve.
You have to go into the stores to
Right.
get the alcohol.
Right. Which is the same thing with Sip, Shop, and Stroll, correct?
Mhm.
You have to go into the stores to see who's doing what.
Mhm.
Pick up your little goodies that you may or may not actually need.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or just buy things for other people. You don't have to buy stuff for yourself.
That's boring, Sarah.
I'd rather do that.
Really?
Then
You're
I
a
feel
gift
less
giver.
guilty.
Oh.
Yeah. I just like to buy things, but then I don't feel bad if it's for somebody else.
I wish I was that way.
Uh-huh.
I buy things for others, and I never buy things that people want
Mm.
because it's more like I'm buying what I would want.
Mhm.
Then they're like, I don't want this.
And you're
I'm
like, "Thank
I'll
you.
take
I'll
it.
take it." Oh, that's awful.
Just give it back to me. I'll keep that. I'm a horrible gift giver, though.
Okay.
I own that about my person. All right. So sip, Shop, and Stroll is a fun time, 5 to 8.
And that's what the holiday market is. They just call it something different. But it's
Okay,
the Sip,
it's
Shop,
the
and
same.
Stroll, but
Okay.
it's on a Friday night.
And it is November 6th, November 3rd. November
From
3rd.
5 to 8 p.m.
Right.
Mhm.
And that is not the same time as the tree lighting, though.
No, that's in December.
And
The first Friday in
December
December.
1st is the tree lighting around the
Yes.
square.
Yes.
It's the Rutherford County tree lighting.
It is.
Yes. And maybe there will be reindeer, and maybe there won't. We'll just
Gosh,
see.
I hope so. There will be carriage rides.
There will be carriage rides. Now, where do these carriage rides go? Are they just around the square, or do
No,
they
they
go
don't
off
even
the
go
square?
around the square. They are at the Bank of America parking lot.
Okay.
You get on the carriage, and it actually goes like around 2 blocks away from the square. We tried to go to Oakland's, but there were so many people in line last year. We felt bad because it's super cheap and we don't charge much to do it. And we want the kids to get to do it. And you hate making people stand in line for a long time. So they do about a 2 block. It's just fun. The carriage is all lit up with lights.
Yeah, I bet it's fun.
Mhm.
I've never been on a carriage ride.
Oh.
But I'm not going to stand in line either.
Yeah. Well, you can get there super early. Yeah.
What time does it start, Sarah?
Well, like 6.
6?
That carriage rides will probably start around 5 though, because so many people do it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. The performances start at 6.
So get there early,
Mhm.
ride the carriage,
Mhm.
then sit around and watch the performances.
Mhm. Get your free
And
hot
let the
cocoa.
people that don't want to watch performances and have free hot cocoa can ride
The carriages.
Then.
Yes.
That sounds like a plan. What else you want to tell us about?
If people ever want to volunteer with Main Street Murfreesboro, we have
Mm-hmm.
a volunteer form on our website, but we do have committees and we have a board, and always looking for people in the community who have a skill set. Maybe they're business minded, or maybe they're history buffs and they know design and architecture, or promotion minded, would help with one of these events. So, like Christmas tree lighting,
Mm-hmm.
that is a whole committee of people that help put that event on. We do a fundraiser in the summer, Taste of Rutherford, and
Mm-hmm.
that's a whole committee.
Which just happened.
It did. It happened in July.
Yeah.
So that's our one fundraiser to do. But if you want to contribute to Main Street, you can be an investor at the end of the year. We do an evening on Main party at someone's house on Main Street or
Okay.
downtown. And you can come to that and just make a small donation to Main Street. So,
And they
yeah,
can find all of this information on your website,
they can.
mainstreetmurfreesboro.org,
Yes, very good.
right?
Or follow us on
Follow
Facebook.
you on Facebook
Mhm.
at,
It's Main Street Murfreesboro.
okay,
If you're interested in just the farmers market, it's the Murfreesboro Saturday Market. They have their own Facebook page. Mhm.
awesome.
Yeah,
And you have someone that handles that for you, right?
we have a marketing person now, and she is great. She does a really good job.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Well, I'm trying to think of what else I need to ask you, Sarah, because I feel like you've got more to tell us.
Well, I will say in the new year, we always do our annual celebration,
Uh-huh.
and we give 2 awards. We give a design award and a business of the year award.
Okay.
And we're taking applications right now. So if you are a downtown business and you've done some type of renovation on your building, you can apply for the design award, and they're scored by the board, the committee. And we like to just thank and acknowledge those building owners who've put money back into their buildings.
Mm-hmm.
And then the business of the year award, it went to Quinn's last year. Just
Okay.
those businesses that give back to the community, that bring people downtown, that kind of have more of a community mindset than just focusing on their own business.
And Quinn's is a
Helping them.
great one. They have a
She's
great little
great.
shop over
Yes,
there.
they bring so many people from all over the country to their
Mhm.
store, and she really supports smaller vendors and stuff. So it's just a great way to acknowledge those people downtown.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah. We have a great downtown district.
We do, and so much stuff is happening. I mean, we didn't even touch on that, but, like, all the development that's coming,
Yeah. Do you want to touch on that
hotels.
real quick?
Sure. So, like, the city council just approved for the, I forgot the Keystone Development
Mm-hmm.
Project. It's off of Broad Street, so that's gonna be built, and that's a mixed use with apartments and condos, and the next stage to go before city council will be for a boutique hotel.
And where is that going on Broad Street?
So if you, enter on Vine Street or Church Street, so that whole block between Vine and Church Street,
Uh-huh.
with Broad Street being, the base of it,
Uh-huh.
all of those buildings are going to be torn down. They're like city buildings, so they sold the city property. WG&S is over there on
Yes.
Vine
Yes. Behind the
Vine Street.
across from the UGO, behind the little car lot there.
Yeah, so all of that's gonna be, a whole development, and it's mixed use, which means it's gonna have space for new businesses,
Uh-huh.
retail and business offices and restaurants, and they're going to build a bridge over Broad that will connect the downtown to the other side of Broad Street. And they're opening up they're daylighting the town creek, which is under the ground along
Mm-hmm.
Broad Street from the Discovery Center to Cannonsburg Village. And so that will be a greenway with a daylighted creek. And I've heard they're going to do like a splash pad on the other side of Cannonsburg and just really enhance that area.
Mm-hmm.
It'll just be beautiful and allow more foot traffic and kind of connect that area of the downtown to the square.
Yeah.
So it'll be really neat.
That is neat.
Mhm.
What other great new businesses are coming that we've not heard about yet
Um,
to the downtown district?
There's a lot of property that people are looking at
Mm-hmm.
that, I mean, I can't say like specific things
Right.
that are coming right now, but if everything works out, there should be hopefully in the next 5 to 10 years another development downtown with a hotel and mixed use property.
Is that the one across from the current Tasty Table building?
So that one is the one that's on hold right now.
Okay, so they've destroyed that gorgeous old church.
Well,
We
the
still
church
have
is
the
still
main
there.
sanctuary.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that whole block is
I
empty.
know, it's
It's
awful.
awful to look at.
It's like, have you ever watched City Parks and Rec?
No.
Oh, okay, then you won't get the joke. But if you've ever watched it, there's a hole in
There
the
is a
city,
hole.
and
Yeah.
the whole idea of that show is, for Parks and Rec to fill the hole with something.
fun.
Like, that's what we need to make a meme out of. But, yeah, no, I asked a city council member about that today, and they're like, it's they're just waiting on the developers to come back
With a plan.
with a plan that they will
A different
accept.
plan. Because they had already accepted one,
They
correct?
accepted the original one, and the developers have changed it.
Mm.
So they're not accepting their changes.
So we'll just sit with a hole in the city for a
Just said.
while.
There's lots of stuff we don't know about, like, the electric company. They just moved out this week.
Okay.
In the Murfreesboro Electric. This is part of Middle Tennessee Electric. So that building is now vacant. So we'll
That's a
see
big
what
building.
happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's across from where I am. But if you ever want to come to my office, we're at 225 West College. We're right behind Marinas on the square. So
Okay.
if you're coming down College Street, the Center for the Arts, and then there, so we're with the Heritage Center.
Okay.
And there's a museum in there, and there's a walking tour that the Heritage Center will give you or take you on if you have a group that wants to do a tour. But all kinds of resources there. So we have a little office in that building.
Awesome. I know we have Spooky Murfreesboro coming around.
What's that?
Where they do the ghost stories. All around downtown.
Well, there's a business that does that year
Yes.
round.
Is there?
Yes.
Okay.
She's really Haunted Murfreesboro.
Okay.
She's over by Drip Purple on Maple Street, down from Jack Brown's.
Okay.
So, yeah, you could look her up if you like to do that kind of thing.
See, businesses I didn't know about.
Mm-hmm.
In downtown.
In downtown.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder what else you don't know about.
There's probably a lot. What is Drip Purple?
Drip Purple, it's a vintage and expensive, like high-end vintage for
it's a shopping.
like 80s, 90s.
Okay.
That's what vintage
I've
is,
not been
right?
there.
So, yeah.
Awesome.
It's a clothing store.
Well, I need to go check that out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I'm always looking for like some retro stuff.
Are you?
Yes.
Okay.
Can't find it anywhere.
There you go.
Okay. Now I know.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sarah.
You're welcome.
I'll have to go check that out.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
Well, if you want to know what businesses are downtown, we put a map. We produce a map.
Okay.
And so a lot of the businesses already have the map. But you can go on our website and
MainStreetMurfreesboro.org.
There you go.
Yes.
But there's a whole link to downtown businesses. Those are just the ones who are members. It's like 130 of them. And they have them by category. So like shopping and dining and entertainment services. So.
And businesses in the downtown district, how do they become a member of Main Street Murfreesboro?
They just reach out to me and fill out a little form, and that's how we kind of know who they are and get them plugged in. But
can they find that form on MainStreetMurfreesboro.org?
Yes, they can get information on our website.
I'm not going to say the website again, I promise, Trent. I've said it 10 times in 2 minutes. Well, Sarah, I want to say thank you for being here today.
Well, thanks for inviting me.
It's been a great time getting to know you
you
and know about
too.
what Main Street's doing.
Mm-hmm. And I'll look for you at the Christmas tree lighting.
Maybe not this year.
Oh, wow.
Is it on a Saturday?
No, it's on a Friday.
Ugh.
Come on.
You'll
just
have
don't
more
go
luck
home.
with me on a Saturday. Just don't go home.
Hey, I'll see you at the next Sip, Shop, and Stroll.
Yes.
And I'll ask you
which is November 3rd.
November the 3rd.
I'll probably be wearing it because that's what I do. I know the last one I went to, we bought a hat that I loved.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not today, Satan. I've quit wearing it because I've worn it out. But I wore it till it fell apart, basically.
Well, that was a good purchase then.
It was.
Better than the sunglasses.
I love the sunglasses. I'm trying to bring them back out.
Okay.
It's just hard because they're big.
Oh.
And I like big, but they're not real dark either. So
okay.
I think I'd had too much to sip that night while strolling.
Which we don't promote that.
No, I don't promote that either.
We promote more shopping and strolling. Thank you.
Well, I shopped and strolled a lot.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Spent a lot of money. It's great. I love downtown. It's a great space. Well, thank you for doing what you're doing. Thank you for being here and talking to us today.
You're welcome.
I hope it wasn't too horribly intense.
No, I've survived.
I'm glad you survived. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
And as always, we want to say thanks to Trent
Thank you,
for
Trent.
producing our show here on Spread the Positive Network, bringing light to what's going right.
You nailed it.
And
Yay.
thank you. I'm
Yeah.
so
Way to be great.
working on it.
Way to be great.
Yeah. Thanks, Trent.
Yep. We'll see y'all.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.